Let's talk about some side hustle ideas because I know all too well how important another stream of income is while you are starting to grow your business. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Lauren Simpson and I'm helping you maximize your time and talents as a growing small business owner, so make sure to subscribe for new videos every week. The first 6 years that I was in my first business, I had many different part-time and full-time jobs as well as side hustle gigs. There's absolutely no shame in having to bring in other streams of income while you are growing your dream business. Don't let anyone tell you that you absolutely have to go all in or else your business will never be successful, because I am a walking testimony that that is just not true. So the first side hustle is a very common one. It's DoorDash, Instacart, Shipped, Grubhub. Is Grubhub even still around? That was like the OG, and it kind of disappeared, didn't it? But anyways, there's that one, there's Uber Eats, there's driving for Uber or Lyft, all of these kind of 1099 jobs where you are completely in charge of your schedule, it's flexible, and you get to choose exactly what jobs you do or do not want to take. Now, of course, these do come with some risk where you may not get as much income week to week because it is completely dependent on the jobs that come in. You may not want to accept every single job that comes in through the app because some of them are extremely low pay, and you do have to use your car. So you are putting miles on your car, wear and tear, and gas to make this money. It is a bit of a learning curve to understand what is worth it in these jobs, and that kind of differs per person. I have the most experience in DoorDash and Instacart, and I definitely have spreadsheets that would help me keep track of, how many miles I was doing and how much I was making per mile and what that looked like after putting taxes aside, all of that stuff. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to get into it, make sure you're keeping track of everything and making it worth it for you. The next side hustle is a very common one. It is babysitting. I did a lot of this over the years. I have a bunch of experience as a babysitter and a nanny. I also have experience working in a daycare as a preschool teacher. This was actually my major that I went to college for. I did major in early childhood education, which did help me get more of those jobs because to these parents, I did look a little bit more serious about the field. I also was CPR and first aid certified, and I highly recommend that you are if you're going to work with children. In the end, their safety is the number one thing that is the most important. So make sure that you are getting any certifications you can to help with that. I did get some jobs through care.com. I have not been on there in years, so I do not know what it's like now, but I was able to message people and people were able to message me. I was able to post jobs and talk about my experience. They do a background check, so it's a really good way for parents to know that they're getting someone trustworthy. Another good side hustle I've seen more people get into over the years is copywriting. So copywriting does require some skill. If you are the person who always loved English class growing up, or you're really good with grammar, maybe you're really good with talking in somebody else's tone of voice or taking on their persona, these are all things that are going to give you a leg up. Some social media experience is also not bad to have because you will likely be copywriting for things like websites, blog posts, and social media posts. Essentially, you will be the go-to person to make the business sound appealing and market well to potential customers. I personally looked into this as an option years ago because I have always really liked blogging. It just didn't kind of end up working out for me because that's not the path I really wanted to go down. I will say that a lot of people are looking for a really solid copywriter who again can sound like them and appeal to customers and make them more money. So if you can get some examples of how you can help them with that, I think that would be really helpful. The next side hustle is being a virtual assistant. So virtual assistants can help with a plethora of things, such as keeping your inbox under control or planning your social media posts. And copywriting might actually even be thrown in there as well. The cool thing with copywriting and with being a virtual assistant is these things can pretty much be on your own time. Of course, you're going to have deadlines. You're going to have a client who needs things by a certain time, but largely you could be working on social media posts at 9 o'clock at night, at midnight, 5 in the morning, whatever kind of works around your existing schedule and your existing work schedule. That's why building these as side hustles is really helpful, because eventually, if you really, really love it, you could probably turn it into a full-time business. But if you don't really want to go there, it could be a substantial side hustle income that you can do in your free time. The next side hustle is dog walking and or pet sitting. And I definitely don't want to diminish the fact that this is a full-time business for a lot of people. This is something you have to take pretty seriously because remember, you are transporting and working with precious cargo. Our pets are like family to us, and it's really important to remember that, again, just like with children, keeping these pets safe is your number one priority. This means you'll have to be okay with the fact that you need to keep them on a leash and they cannot get away. You also have to accept the fact that sometimes you may have to take a dog to the emergency vet when they are in your care if something happens, like maybe they choke on food. So it's definitely not an all like sunshine and rainbows kind of field. And then there's the obvious that you have to pick up their poop after them, or you have to clean up an accident in the house. But overall, if you've always loved pets and you're fine with the messy parts, this might be a good thing to look into for you. Now, dog walking and pet sitting are two different things. Dog walking, you can just go pick up the dog for a 15 or 30-minute interval, take them on a walk, and maybe refill their water bowl or their food bowl or whatever. But that's kind of the extent of it, and you're done. You maybe do that several times a day. Pet sitting can be a little more extensive. That can be more... Pet sitting is a little more extensive. It can be more visits, so more frequent or longer visits. It can also entail some overnight stays, and it entails just doing more with the pet. Some people do one or the other, and some people do both, so you can kind of find your sweet spot. This is a good side hustle because especially with the dog walking one, a lot of people like to do this before and after work. So you can get a few pets in, take them for their walks in the morning, go to your job, and then do the same after your job, so that you get some extra income on both ends, and it kind of works with your existing schedule, especially if you're a 9-to-5 worker. It's also a really good way to get some exercise in while you're making some extra money, and I love multitasking. Some other side hustles to look into obviously include things like working from home and using apps on your phone. Now, I don't have too much experience in these, and there are a lot of scams out there. So definitely do your due diligence and research. But I have heard some people have some pretty good success with these. Who doesn't love working from home? You can stay in your PJs. You can use the phone you already have. It sounds pretty great to me. For more insight on how I grew my business to be a successful 6-figure business, providing income for my family over the years while working other jobs, check out this video. I think it'll give you a good perspective in how you can build your dream career while doing what you have to in the meantime.